Alright, we're going to learn some new formulas called the sum and product of the roots. The trick to this topic is you really got to kind of memorize the formulas. The formulas for the sum of the roots is negative b over a. The product of the roots is c over a. And this is for any quadratic ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. So that means the quadratic is in standard form, and the sum of the roots is found by the opposite sign of b divided by the coefficient a, and the product of roots is determined by the coefficient, the constant c divided by the coefficient a. So if we had a quadratic expressed by 2x squared plus 3x minus 4 equals 0, well, that means the product of the roots is c over a, which is negative 4 over 2, which is negative 2. The sum of the roots is negative b over a, which is negative 3 over 2. So this is telling me that if I were to multiply my roots together, I would get negative 2, and if I were to add my roots together, I would get negative 3 over 2. This becomes very useful if you have missing values in your quadratic, and you're trying to find that missing value. So let's say we had a quadratic 2x squared plus 5x plus c equals 0. Let's also say that root 1 is 4. What is the other root? And what's the value of c? So now what we're going to do is to set up both of the formulas. So we know the sum of the roots is negative b over a. But that's equal to my roots being added together, root 1 plus root 2. Also, I know the product of the roots, c over a, is equal to the roots being multiplied together. So now I have one of the roots, so I could plug one of the roots into either of these formulas, but I don't have the value of c, which means if I go to this formula, I'm going to have a missing value of c, and I'm going to be missing one of the roots. That's two unknowns. So let's start with this formula. I have the value of b, I have the value of a, so negative 5 over 2 is equal to root 1, which is 4, plus root 2. So now we can solve for the other root. Subtract 4 from both sides, but instead of saying 4, I'm going to say negative 5 over 2 equals, well, not 4 over 2, equals 8 over 2, plus root 2. Subtract 8 over 2 from both sides, therefore negative 13 over 2 is the second root. So, what's the other root? It's negative 13 over 2. So now let's find the value of c. Let's use the product of the roots formula for that. c I don't know, but a I do. Root 1 was given as 4, and root 2 we found was negative 13 over 2. Let's multiply. c over 2 equals, let's see, negative 40 plus 12 is 52 over 2. Multiply both sides by 2, and you get c is negative 52. Alright, let's do another example. Let's say we have m squared minus m. Well, let's make that 4m. M squared minus 4m plus c equals 0. And let's say we know root 1 is 3. Let's find both root 2 and the value of c. So again, I'm going to set up both the sum of the roots formula and the product of the roots formula. Negative b over a equals the roots being added together. C over a equals the roots being multiplied together. Again, just like I prefaced this video, the trick is memorizing these formulas. And the way I remember the sum of the roots begins with a negative b is because the quadratic formula starts with a negative b. And the way I can remember that c over a is the product is because the word product has a c in it. So therefore, at least I can distinguish between the two by saying, well, c over a, I know that's a product. Why? Because the word product has a c in it. And I know this begins with a negative b over a because so does the quadratic formula. The quadratic formula starts with a negative b. Therefore, the sum of the roots formula starts with a negative b. So there's just a couple of mnemonic devices to help you remember these formulas. So in this case, we have the value of b. The value of b is 4, negative 4. So negative 4 is positive 4. The value of a is 1 equals root 1, which is 3, plus root 2, which is unknown. We could subtract 3 from both sides, and we get 1 equals root 2. So we got our second root. Now we can plug that into our product of the roots formula to determine the value of c. And the reason we're using product to determine the value of c is because the product formula has a c in it. So we'll be able to solve for the unknown value of c using the product of the roots formula. So c over a is 1, equals root 1, 3, times root 2, 1. Therefore, c equals 3. So, that means m squared minus 4m plus 3 has roots of 3 and 1.